The New York mayoral primaries has people shook. This man right here, Zohan Mamdani, beat out Andrew Cuomo in the primaries to become the next mayor. So this is an article from Economic Times. I want to get to this because billionaire Bill Ackman is really trying to influence New York's politics. He says, I'm going to throw all kind of money to defeat this man. So let's get into what Bill Ackman was saying. So this is what Bill Ackman penned to his Twitter. He says, I awoke this morning gravely concerned about New York City. I thought, what has New York City become that an avowed socialist who has supported defunding the police, whose solution to lowering food prices is city-owned supermarkets, who doesn't understand that freezing rents will only reduce the supply of housing, who has no experience in managing an organization, let alone a city with a $100 billion budget and a $2 trillion economy, and who believes chants for globalizing the infantada are acceptable, wins the Democratic primary. After speaking to those who supported Zohan Mamdani, I believe that he won the primary largely not due to his policies, but rather because he is a superb politician who ran a remarkable and inspiring campaign. He is intelligent and articulate. He is young and charming, and he successfully played down incriminating ex-posts and statements from his past, pitching a joyful campaign of unity. Nothing that Bill Ackman has said so far has been that damning, but okay, let's keep going. He says, and he won because the competition was very weak. His best competitor sat back and did not run a real campaign, relying on name recognition, early favorable polling, and keeping a low profile to make it through. Not a strategy that I've ever seen work, but so be it. The Democratic primary voter is clearly tired of the Democratic policies of the past and its aging and over-the-hill leadership. Who isn't? As a case in point, how embarrassing is it to watch the aging Dems fall in line with their tweets of support for Mamdani as they desperately try to defend their seats from the far left? And therefore, without any real competition, Zohan and his attractive personal qualities and campaign skills magically make him the candidate of the future. This dude just keeps on writing. I was taking screenshots and I just kept taking screenshots, but it was long. So since it was so long, this person right here, gray hair ops guy, says, summarize this tweet in 10 bullet points or less. So let's look at the summary. It says, Ackman is alarmed by Zohan Mamdani's win in the New York City Democratic mayoral primary. Number 2, criticizes Mamdani's socialist policies like defunding the police and rent freezes. Number 3, believes Mamdani's victory stems from political skill, not policy support. Number 4, warns policies could raise crime and drive away businesses and taxpayers. Number 5, thinks many New York City residents recognize risk and want a centrist option. Number 6, calls for an experienced, charismatic centrist to run against Mamdani. Number 7, offers to handle fundraising, noted significant financial support. 8, suggests a write-in candidate could mobilize voters effectively. Number 9, views election as critical to prevent New York City's decline under far-left rule. Number 10, urges action to save Democratic Party from extreme left shift. So that was a summary in bullet points because this dude wrote literally an essay. I am going to get to other people's reaction, but we needed to see this. Sandman asked Grok to do this again, but write it as a limerick. And to that, Grok says, in New York City, where policies spark debate, Mamdani's plans meet a curious fate. Defund cops, crime may rise, rent freezes help, but housing denies. City stores feed, yet costs inflate. So we have a limerick and a summary. Now let's talk about how other people are reacting to this man getting this primary win. Republicans are trying to get him kicked out of the country. All right, this one says, Republicans are calling on Trump to revoke Mamdani's citizenship and deport him. New York Young Republican Club and far-right Republicans demand his removal and the return of Red Scare-era McCarthyism. Now, I am going to talk about the New York Young Republicans, but before that, I skipped to the end of the article because who is this dude? Mamdani, born in Uganda in 1991, moved to New York along with his family at age 7 in 1998 and became a naturalized U.S. citizen 2 decades later in 2018. So he literally just became a U.S. citizen, and this is the reason why the young Republicans are like, no, dude, let's strip him of his citizenship. Somebody who did it the right way, I am totally sure, but these people want to revoke citizenship from people even when they do it the right way. That speaks volumes about these Republicans. But let's go back to the beginning of this article. Zohan Mamdani's stunning win in the Democratic primary for New York City's mayor signals a seismic shift in U.S. politics. The victory of the Ugandan Indian American state assemblyman confirms what has been quietly building for years: a new working-class immigrant politics rooted in organizing, solidarity, and a sharp critique of inequality is taking hold within the Democratic Party. Mamdani's campaign focused on rent freezes, universal child care, public transit, and green infrastructure, galvanized multiracial working-class coalitions across the city. His win is a repudiation of corporate influence and local corruption, and a powerful endorsement of politics shaped by immigrants with deep ties to global struggles for justice. Back to the Republicans. Some Republicans are calling on Donald Trump's administration to revoke Zohan Mamdani's citizenship and deport him from the country as the likely Democratic nominee for New York City's next mayor endures a torrent of Islamophobic bigotry. The 33-year-old Democratic Socialist declared victory in the primary after former New York Governor Andrew Cuomo conceded the race on Tuesday evening. The New York Young Republican Club reacted to the primary results with a call to action on X. The radical Zohan Mamdani cannot be allowed to destroy our beloved city of New York, the group wrote. The group urged the president to invoke the Red Scare-era Communist Control Act to yank Mamdani's citizenship and promptly deport him. The club called on White House Deputy Chief of Staff and Marvel villain Stephen Miller and Trump border czar Tom Homan to take action. The time for action is now, the group wrote. New York is counting on you. Following Mamdani's victory, Miller claimed New York City is the clearest warning yet of what happens to a society when it fails to control migration, even if he is legally here now because he has his papers in alignment, his documentation in alignment. But I guess it's just too much brown, too many brown people, especially for someone like Stephen Miller. The entire Democrat Party is lining up behind the diehard socialist who wants to end all immigration enforcement and abolish the prison system entirely, he added. Republican Representative Andy Ogles of Tennessee referred to Mamdani as Little Muhammad and says he's an anti-Semitic socialist communist who will destroy the great city of New York. They just throw words out there, just throw it. Oh my goodness. He needs to be deported, which is why I'm calling for him to be subject to denaturalization proceedings, he added. Mamdani, who could become the city's first Muslim and Indian American mayor, won one of the first major Democratic primaries since the start of Trump's second stint in the White House. His platform has largely focused on a growing affordability crisis with plans for universal child care, free buses, and a freeze on rent increases in rent-controlled units. This tweet from Brian Allen summarizing what Fox News said kind of made me chuckle, and I'm going to leave you with this tweet. So Brian Allen said, Fox News just accidentally made Zohan Mamdani sound like the most pro-family candidate in America. Free childcare, baby baskets, $30 an hour wages. Tell me where to sign. And then he shared a screenshot of what Fox News was saying. Zohan Mamdani's socialist promises. No cost childcare, baby baskets to newborns, $30 minimum wage. This is not sounding like something that's going to scare people, especially people that are not making very much money. But for people like Fox News and the Republican Party, then yes, it obviously scares them, especially since he is brown and Muslim. Anyways, let me know what your take is on this primary in New York. Are you watching it? I am now watching it, especially since the Republican Party and MAGA are coming down against this man. Let me know what you think. Like, comment, and share.